Hey everyone, it's Matt here from Train Sim Society and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. The day is finally here. The West Coast Mainline Enhancement Pack is finally out. Of course, only for PC users. This is not available on console because it is an in-game modification and you can't mod a Train Sim World game on consoles. At least not now and in the foreseeable future. So as a lot of us are already aware, West Coast Mainline had a very mediocre launch in Train Sim World 5. Honestly, the timetable was incomplete, the scenery, the lighting just not good, and all of these issues and more were fixed and improved with this enhancement pack. And all the footage that you are watching right now is from my very first playthrough of it. I was just kind of blown away at how much was going on, how many trains there were, all of the maintenance crew, and small details like graffiti and vegetation that were a part of this enhancement. The route truly comes to life now. So in this video, with my recorded gameplay footage playing in the back for you to watch, I'm going to go over everything that was changed or added with this enhancement pack, and of course, give a huge shout out to the creators. This is available over on trainsimcommunity.com. It is under the patches section, and there are a handful of users that are credited for this mod. That list includes Bell, Bescott, Charlie, Fox for the timetable, Jetwash, Leica, Rob S, and Spratty Heath. I hope that I pronounce all of those names correctly. So before we get into any of the details for this, you need to know, and they right here over on TSC, please note that this is a resource intensive EP, and combined with the very busy timetable will require a PC with higher specs than normal DTG DLC. And I have an RTX 4090, a Ryzen 7950 X3D, and it even put my computer to work with the 64 gigabytes of RAM that I have. There is just a lot going on. There's a lot of details in the scenery. There's a lot of active trains, AI trains. There's different liveries. It will likely slow down your PC a little bit and run a bit heavier than how normal DLC run. This is normal. This is expected. I do have to say, honestly, I don't even mind it because the route and the enhancement is just so good, and I was having so much fun. I felt so immersed in the world that I was completely okay with it for once. So now to start, the requirements for this enhancement pack and timetable. It is two separate things. Keep in mind, these are requirements for the full intended experience. Number one is the Goblin Line, the London Overground Suffragette route. This is gonna have the Class 710, various scenery elements. Unfortunately, until DTG update the add-on manager, the Goblin Line DLC is an absolute must-have for this to work. They do right here in the PDF file. If you do not have this, it will crash, so you need the Goblin Line. Next up is Great Western Express, the new measurement train. Number 3, East Coast Mainline for the Class 805, San Bernardino. About 30% of the additional graffiti comes from this DLC. I will tell you right now, it's worth having. You don't think that's going to add much, but when you're taking that Class 390 down at 125 miles an hour and you're going under these overpasses and there's just graffiti everywhere, it looks so good. Number 5, West Coast Mainline South. Number 6, the Class 390 Pendolino, and number 7, all packs featured on the download page. For various reasons, these can't be merged into a single pack. So before we go any further, I'm going to list what those packs are. They are on TSC.com. The 1972 MK2 Tube Stock Sound Mod, the Class 350 and 380 Sound Mod, Class 390 Sound Mod, Class 710 Sound Mod, Class 801 Azuma Sound Mod, UK Content Ballast Enhancement Pack, and last, but definitely not least, is the West Coast Mainline South WCML 2024 timetable. You're going to want to download all of these, place the pack files in your DLC folder, which is located in your program files, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, TSW5, Windows No Editor, TS2 Prototype, content and DLC. That is, if you are on Steam. When you download the West Coast Mainline South EP, all of those files can be placed in this directory as well. So now on to the route enhancements. Significantly enhance the nighttime scene with many more light sources added across the route, including to the north of Milton Keynes by approximately 1.5 kilometers. Night lighting on many landmarks including Wembley Stadium, the BT Tower, Wembley Yard, etc. Significantly enhanced foliage across the entire route, amounting in reality to a fresh start. Also extends north of Milton Keynes as some freight services start up there. Added light sources to non-functional trackside junction light units. Improved lights on the Class 390 Pendolino, including fixing the light disappearing when tilted. Improved lights on the LU72 stock. Added a significant amount of clutter across the route. This is very apparent. This is going to be one of the first things that you actually notice. I was honestly kind of worried at first that I wasn't going to notice much because I feel like there are a lot of enhancement packs for routes in this game that do add a decent amount, but just not enough for me personally to be like, whoa, but this really gave me that wow factor. Added trackside, station, and yard workers. You are going to see a lot of these. Added custom skinned network rail vans across the route. These are additional assets and not a generic reskin of the van texture. Added much more graffiti, some of which requires the San Bernardino DLC. Again, I highly recommend this. Added custom class 710 stop markers. Added custom London Underground car overrun signs. Significantly enhanced class 350 with revised PIS, fully branded interior, exterior, and the seating maquette replaced. Fixed light baking inside Queen's Park North and South sheds. Hugely enhanced the disused Brent sidings with catenary and overgrowing foliage. Dockyard crane outside Harlesden now yellow as per real world. Retextured London Underground lamppost to a less saturated blue. Retextured London Underground mirror pole from blue to red. Football pitches added to Northwick Park. Like, they went so in detail with this. Station fences changed from blue to red, visible at Harrow and Wealdstone. Extra buses added at Willesden Junction Bus Garage. Added brick arches to A406 bridge situated near Stonebridge Park. Train wash added at Willesden TMD. Replaced the generic low-resolution posters from the old TSW5 ones with custom Samaritans posters and a LNR route map. Replaced all other posters with a variety of 2024 era real-world posters and billboards. This one really tripped me out for a second because I'm just not used to seeing that in game. There was like one for Disney's Frozen and one for Taylor Swift's The Eras Tour, so it really immerses you into the real world. And lastly, replace the collectible route map with a high-resolution TFL map. So additional rolling stock, custom-made class 43 HST new measurement train based on the GWE HST with custom skin. Includes 430.62 John Armit with custom-made 3D nameplate, custom overhead headlight, and custom-made nose-mounted track camera. Up next, the Avanti West Coast class 805 with custom skin, realistic internal and external PIS displays, upscale textures, custom numbering, and new interior textures. Number 3, custom reskins for standalone class 390s, 390-119 Progress, and 390-221 Opportunity. And lastly, custom skin for standalone class 350, 350-104 Eurovision. So our next section is going to be all about station-specific changes. Milton Keynes Central, Leighton Buzzard, Cheddington, Berkhamsted, Hemel Hempstead, Apsley, and Kings Langley. There's new LNR signage. Bletchley, new LNR signage, including custom code breaker signs. Watford Junction, vast array of new signage, including LNR and a London Overground. Watford High Street, new signage for station building and extra clutter. Bushy, mainline platforms, new signage texture. Queen's Park, mainline platforms, new custom signage, new CRT screens, non-functional, and Euston, new custom signage. So for Watford DC London Overground, Carpenter's Park, new LO signage on the A410 just outside the station, Headstone Lane, new custom signage for both station entrances, extra clutter and lighting, South Hampstead, new signage for station building, new ticket machines added inside the building. And number 3, the Bakerloo line at Harrow and Wealdstone, new custom shelters, new signage for all platforms, widened overbridge model, more station clutter, remodeled and retextured station building on the Bridge Road, remodeled and retextured station building on Sandridge Close Road, more roadside lampposts on Sandridge Close as well as extra station building lights, South Kenton, extra signage and clutter outside both entrances, Wembley Central, remodeled station walls and roof, retextured platforms 5 and 6, new gates for platforms 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, extra clutter for disused platform 7 and on some platforms in general, new custom signage for platforms 3, 4, 5, and 6, new LU shelter on platform 2 and small shelter for platform 5, extra buildings on both the north and south side of the station entrances, Stonebridge Park, adjusted textures for station shelters, retextured underpass, Willesden Junction, extra signage for North London Line, high-level platforms, Kensal Green, ivy on the retaining wall on southbound platform, and lastly, Queen's Park, LU/LO platforms, extra CCTV screens for end of platforms, slightly more clutter, shelter added on platforms 4/3. So now we are on to the timetable, which is again by Fox. This timetable is built from scratch using the late 2024 working timetable for the region with platform assignments from October 30th. Some very minor alterations have been made due to gameplay considerations or route limitations. So the feature set, the full LNR Class 350 timetable, including St. Albans, Abbey shuttles, and full ECS services. The full Avanti West Coast Class 390 timetable, including all ECS services, and first class facing the right way. Let's go. Even Dovetail couldn't get that right. That's crazy. We have the full London Overground Lioness Line Class 710 timetable, including both the 710-2 and the 710-3, as well as all ECS services. Let's go. All London Underground trains originating at Stonebridge Park Depot from 201 to 212, excluding 208 and 209. Full Southern Class 377 timetable, including the /2 and /7 subclasses. The full Avanti West Coast Class 805 timetable, including ECS services. Inclusion of the custom new measurement train on several services. Updated station directory, including all off-map destinations as well as some bug fixes. And lastly, for the timetable section, AI-only services. All Class 390 services that do not stop on the map have been put in as AI-only. LU services from Elephant and Castle to Queen's Park and vice versa are AI only. So our second to last section is currently known limitations. There are only 3 bullet points. AI Class 390s are unable to run at their tilt speeds, 125 miles per hour, and are instead running at the default line speed of 110. This results in the AI being slightly delayed in some cases. This is a core issue. Yes, we also need to talk about how in Dovetail's timetable, this also happens. The AI trains do not run at that 125. There is nothing that these mod creators can do about that. Bullet point number 2, conductor mode is currently unable to be selected from the menu for the Class 350. It still works if activated from the guard panel in-game, so you can still play as a guard for the services on this train. And lastly, when departing London Euston, you must wait until the game tells you to close the doors before you do. Our last section is future plans. The current plan for the next version is to include the following: the remainder of the London Underground trains, Class 805 undertaking the current Voyager services, freight, lots and lots of freight, including aggregates and RHTT and rail tours of various types when all the core services are in. This last part makes me so excited. You know, just thinking rail tours, please put some steam on this. I don't know if they actually operate real steam rail tours on this route. I wouldn't know, but I would love to see some of that here. Very, very excited for freight and lots of love it. Have to say I'm looking forward to that, but definitely focus on getting all of the core services and priority services in first. Also the Voyager, that's going to be exciting, and even more London Underground trains. No, this route is so busy, and you've probably already seen from the footage that's been playing for you so far. I really don't know how much of it is left because I don't want to cut it off at the end of my commentary, so whenever I'm done, I am going to just let the footage finish so that you guys can enjoy the cab ride. I think that time is actually now though, because we are at the end here of the West Coast Main Line EP PDF file. That is pretty much everything that they have here, at least on launch. It is possible that they might update this PDF with more information, but I would definitely recommend picking this up. I'm gonna have a link to it down in the description box, as well as the official forum post for this enhancement pack. It's amazing. Go support everyone that was involved, and of course let me know down below what you guys think of this. That's gonna be it from me. Enjoy the rest of the cab ride, take care, and happy rail simming, guys.